3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our Q&A, our Sunday video.
We've put this on pause for a while. It's been a little while since we've done this.
We have put it on pause, but we've decided to come back now. We're here sitting at...
We're on location.
Yeah, we're on location. We did this once before, or maybe twice. And people
not from here, though.
Not from here.
Yes, but, this is one of our newer listings.
Yep.
Unit 3910. 35 Mariner Terrace, downtown. Check out the view. Like, this is stunning.
Yeah.
We've
been as we've been setting up the video, we've been watching planes come in. And
the island airport is right there.
Right
obviously, the lake is right there. Center Island is just over here. I don't know if you could see it from there, but if you were standing here, you'd see everything. It's right behind us.
Awesome view. The link for, if you want to check out the video for this property, the link's going to be at the end. You can find it probably right up here. But yes, so let's get into our Q&A, Paul. We haven't done this in a while.
Talk to me.
Okay, so first question. First question here comes from Rob Cause 8162, and they say, the homes that are selling / buying, are they people selling their home and buying another one? Of these sales, how many people are getting into the market?
I think, if I'm just trying to go through numbers, our own personal business, it's kind of half and half. We have many people getting into the market for the first time.
Yeah.
We have others that are selling and buying. Some are moving up, some are moving down, depending on their position in life. It's a mixture. It's a mixture. I couldn't, overall as a market, tell you what's happening in the whole industry. But for us personally, it's about half and half, people coming into the market for the first time and people upsizing or downsizing.
Yes. And so next question here comes from David Lee 8396. And this was the video where we did it. It was about the condo layouts, basically.
The layouts.
Yes, and he,
because they make so much sense, the layouts.
Yeah, right. This so his comment says, the first question I always ask when I visit a condo is, where can I put the TV?
Oh, thank you.
That is David. That is the first question that everyone asks when they get into a condo, when they walk into a condo.
Yeah, and when we're with clients, they, sometimes you just get carried away and distracted by things. Like in this unit here, if you walk in, you're right away distracted in a good way by the view. Your mind goes right to the view. And then as you turn around, there's a huge feature wall beside you here. You'll see it in the link. I'm just using this as an example because we're here. But this floor plan in this unit makes total sense. Lots of space for a TV, lots of space for sofa. But many of them don't make any sense. Yeah. And it's not necessarily just the small units. Like you're thinking, 400, 500, 600 square feet, there might not be enough space. But some of the larger units,
I was going to say,
900 square feet.
We saw the 1,200 square foot unit.
Yeah.
And you just couldn't, there was no spot to put
it.
It
didn't make sense. It made no sense. Where do you put the TV and the sofa? But, a sofa, a real sofa, not a small, tiny two-seater. What if there's more than two people in the unit? Like, where are you going to sit? It doesn't make, I agree. It doesn't make sense many times.
And what's funny, too? A lot of the staging, they don't put TVs.
They don't put TVs in the staging.
They don't put TVs. So you're trying to see how, you're trying to see it. If you're staging and you're trying to see it how people would live. Yeah. And I don't think people are sitting on the couch and looking at an artwork
staring at
from HomeSense.
Exactly.
But anyways, this leads into the next comment really well. Mark 37921 says, silly Santo, how are you supposed to show off your granite countertops if you don't have a huge island in the middle of the living room area?
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, but it's the truth. Like that. And so in particular, this 1,200 square foot unit we went to go see, beautiful. It was a newer unit, and that was exactly the case.
They had a monster island.
You couldn't fit a TV because of the size of the island that was there.
Yeah.
And but it was a nice granite countertop though. So if you're trying to show that off, you did a good job. But anyways, So next comment here comes from John Lee 7688, and this was with response to the listings, basically just more active listings coming onto the market. And John Lee says, this is not the full truth. Lots of listings, but not all, are new listings, so data is a bit off. Many listings are old ones that cousins? It says cousins, but I'm going to say he probably meant couldn't sell last year, or just took it off the market and put on again as new. Low rise still selling okay. So I wanted to bring this up because there were other people that had commented on this one in particular, but
I don't get what's he saying?
Basically saying that there's so much new inventory, because I think in the video that we talked about, there was so much new inventory. There's so active listings is really taking off, right? And he's saying that, that's not the full truth, because a lot of these are old listings. And in the video you did actually, this is what I want to mention. In the video you did mention that a lot of these are old listings that didn't sell last year, expired or got canceled, and then are being relisted now, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the case with condos, and it's also the case with the freehold market too.
It's also the case with the freehold market. There's a percentage that didn't sell last year, adding to the new listings coming on for the first time.
Yeah.
But my comment in general, it doesn't matter if they're old listings or new listings.
Yeah.
Active listings, the amount of properties available for sale is higher than what we normally would see. And buyers, it's not like they've jumped on board and are buying this up. They've kind of slowed down a little bit. So listings are increasing. Buyers are kind of slowing down their purchasing.
Yeah.
And so listings are accumulating.
Yeah. It is.
That was really what my comment was about.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see, because we've seen for the past few years, right, the spring market's kind of changed in terms of when it starts. Sometimes we've seen it second week of January.
Yeah.
But we're not really seeing the pickup of sales right now, even though we are really seeing the pickup of listings coming up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can see that. You can see the momentum of listings coming up.
Yeah.
Buying, I'm not saying buyers are not out there.
Yeah.
They're just not quick to pull the trigger.
Oh, yeah.
Like we would normally see.
Sometimes you'll have listings that'll have a ton of showings and a ton of people that are interested, but they're just waiting on the sidelines, right?
Yeah.
Which is something that we haven't seen in a while, right? But
correct.
Anyways, next comment here comes from Deezed150. Deezed150. And so this was with regards to the video where you basically talking about how people shouldn't take lowball offers serious, or people shouldn't take it personally, not seriously, personally. And and so Deez says, I'm curious to know what your buyer would have countered with had the vendor signed back at full list.
So that's what you risk when you go in with a lowball offer. Now, lowball meaning it's kind of outside of the realm of what makes sense. Like, what should this home sell at? Now, but right now.
Yeah.
Now, whether you feel it's worth it or not, and what the seller wants and what the buyer, we're just talking about what makes sense right now. God forbid the home burns down, the insurance has to come up with a number. There's an appraisal value, there's a market price value. No matter what, there's going to be a number for that home.
Yeah.
And so you put in a number, let's just say the home, should, when you really look at all the data, it should probably sell for around $1 million. You come in at 800,000. That's a lowball offer. And when you do that, thinking, well, nobody's buying the home, maybe there's an opportunity here for me to buy it lower than what logically would make sense. And there's been situations like that. You risk the seller not taking you seriously. And if the seller chooses to give you a counteroffer, because many times the seller could say, no, I'm just not even responding. then the seller may counteroffer basically at what they're listed at. They may take $5 off the list price. And so that's what you risk. So what do you do now?
Yeah.
Do you come back with a more realistic price? Do you add to it some more? At some point, either the seller or buyer is going to say, forget it. Is the buyer just testing the waters? And they have full intentions of coming up to a more realistic price, but they're thinking maybe there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And the seller could also, be bluffing. They could be in some serious trouble, but they need a more realistic price, and they're going to push a little bit. It's tough to say what's going on, but if the seller comes back at basically the list price, and you know they didn't take your offer seriously.
Yeah.
You as a buyer got to decide, like, are you serious about buying this property, or are you just going to move on? So you may counter back and kind of say, oh, okay, forget my last offer. I was only kidding. I was only kidding. Take me more serious. Here's a more legitimate, more realistic offer. Please, Mrs. Seller, come back to the table. Let's negotiate realistically.
Yeah.
Or you walk away, you move on, and you try a different property.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so next comment here.
You like that line? I was only kidding.
Yeah, that was funny.
I was only kidding. Don't get mad.
But, okay, so next comment here comes from Narade, and they say, what is your definition of a lowball offer? I recently came in with an offer of 80% of asking for a fixer-upper and was basically dismissed because it was a power of sale. What are your thoughts?
You weren't dismissed because it was a power of sale. You were dismissed because the people responsible for the sale, maybe it's, the trustee being a power of sale, maybe it's the bank. The lawyers. Well, the bank kind of puts that off to the realtor and the lawyers that are overseeing that power of sale. In the minds of the realtor and the lawyer that they're working with to get the home sold on behalf of the lender, they've come up with a price that makes sense to them. Mm-hmm. You come in way lower than that, they just are not going to take it seriously. That's all. Now,
I think there's different. I would say there's kind of different aspects to this. So there's submitting the lowball offer, but then there's what the person that's selling the property can actually sell it for too. Because if they were to accept, let's say, there's $1 million property, mortgage $800,000, and the bank decides to, or the lender decides to sell it for $700,000, right? Then the owner of the property, who the house is being sold on their behalf, can come back and say, hey, you sold my house too low.
Well,
right?
It all depends what market value is, right? So, yes, if it should sell, say, for about 9, and the realtor and the agent, or the realtor and the lawyer sell it for 7, then those are our power of sale rules. This is why on a power of sale, the day it goes on the market, you submit an offer, the lawyer is going to say, or through the realtor is going to say, whoa, it needs to be on the market for X amount of days, maybe 5 business days or something.
Well, that's
so enough people could see it. So whatever market value is, if you come in much lower, then they're not, they're liable.
Well, that's what I was getting at is, the seller has the liability of, they don't have necessarily, a lot of people think power of sale, oh my God, you can get this for a deal. But the truth is here that you don't necessarily have that same negotiating power, because there's a lot of liability if the lender does end up selling it for less than what the perceived market value is, right?
Right. Now, if the property sits there, time goes by, could be a month, 2, 3, whatever, enough time goes by, price reductions, you might get it for your price later. If it hasn't sold. But they have to try. They have to try to sell it what they believe market value is. and market value can change, and people could be wrong at what market value is. But you would assume, a good agent does their homework and has a pretty good handle on what that should be. Not all agents do. Sometimes they totally mess up and get the wrong number.
Yeah.
But
but I think like in a case like that, like we've seen it so many times where we've tried to negotiate on a power of sale and there's just not that much room, just because of what their situation is with the mortgagee, right?
Yeah, well, they've got to try.
Yeah,
they've got to try.
Okay, so next comment here comes from Laynad5243, and Laynad says, buying with family or friends is a huge mistake. It's the best way to make an enemy. Sad but true.
There's a reason that saying, don't mix money with friends, family. It's a saying not just in real estate, but in all different parts of life, in different circumstances, and in all different parts of the world, not just here in the GTA. This is a worldwide, multicultural, multi-country saying.
Everything.
Transcends the universe. The minute you get family and friends and money involved, look, not in every case. Some people have managed to work through that and things are good. But too many times you get examples going the other way. So think long and hard before you mix money, family, and friends.
Yes. And so next comment here comes from Jesse Q94. And Jesse says, so this is with regards to, I always do that. I'm about to read the comment and then I give the backstory. This is with regards to the video where we were talking about the form that you can basically ask a seller or buyer's agent to present, indicating that the offer has been presented to the party that they're representing. And Jesse says, why is this form not mandatory with each offer that is submitted? It seems like a hassle to have to request the buyer agent to send one each time to know if their offer was even read on the other end.
Well, if you get a counter offer, you kind of know it was read.
Yeah.
It's only in circumstances where you don't feel the other side is really living up to their obligations that they're actually presenting the offer.
Yeah.
And that's not, that would be the exception when an agent doesn't present the offer.
Yeah.
Right? That would be the exception. So normally you get a counter offer, you'll be in discussion with the realtor back and forth, like your offer was presented.
Yeah.
And the biggest proof of that is you actually get a counter offer.
Yeah. But I think there should be some type of, I do agree with this. Like it should be, not that form in particular should be mandatory, but there should be some way of, the seller knowing that an offer has been submitted.
Well,
right? The same way.
So if we're going to go, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but if we're going to go down that route, I've for years advocated that, I would like to see that. So let's say we represent a seller.
Yeah.
We receive an offer. The email normally comes to me. I believe the way it should be set up, the minute I sign on a client, and it's the brokerage also is, that client is the brokerage's client as well, not just my client, that client, my seller's contact details, so email, phone number, gets registered with the office. And all offers get submitted actually to the brokerage and then get automatically sent to the agents that are on that file and the actual client.
That makes sense, right?
That should be an automatic thing.
They have that system. Well, I mean, that system's pretty much set up for showings, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where we'll get notified for a showing and then we can set for the
client, the seller to get notified of the
showing too. It should be the same thing for offers. But then you have the issues with how many people actually register these offers, right? How many agents register these offers?
But that should be a mandatory thing, right?
Right.
It's all part of the same, let's mandate this.
Yeah.
When an offer goes in, it should be automatically registered. Offers get emailed to the brokerage.
Yeah.
And that triggers the brokerage receiving it and sending it out to
like a notification that there's been an offer.
And it's all automatic.
Yeah.
When I say it gets sent to the brokerage and the brokerage sent, there's nobody manually doing it.
Yeah.
It's all automatic.
You know, it's so odd how some of these things work. It's funny when you say that should be mandatory, and what popped into my head is the mandatory fields that have now been added to listings that are mandatory if you want to.
Yeah, right. There's mandatory fields now.
So yeah, now
in the listing, mandatory, square footage, for example.
Yeah, that was the one.
But you can override that.
Yeah.
Also, it's mandatory unless you override it.
I'm laughing, but it makes zero sense. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's like open offers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All offers will be transparent now.
Yeah.
If the seller wants.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
How many have we been involved in?
How many have anyone been involved? I don't think I'd be curious to know. But anyways.
I saw one.
Did you?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Yeah. I wasn't part of it.
Oh, okay.
But I saw one where I read, and we've seen in the time that this came up as a rule, there's been, we've looked at thousands of listings.
Yeah. And
I read in the brokerage remarks there for realtors that it said, this will be, open offer bidding and blah, blah, blah. And but we've looked at thousands of listings since then, and I've seen it once.
Yeah. Anyways, next comment here comes from Platinum Puppies. And Platinum Puppies said,
the name
bad-mouthing agents to grow your other agents to grow your business can only go so far in the long run. At some point, this strategy will not work.
Platinum Puppies?
Platinum Puppies.
I'm not, I got to say, I'm not bad-mouthing agents to grow my business. It could actually be counterproductive. The more bad things I say that agents are doing, the more people are going to hate agents in general.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to pull back the curtain and expose some of the dumb bonehead things and mistakes that agents and the public do in choosing those agents, things to avoid.
Yeah.
So if it helps somebody, I know it helps somebody because people tell us, thank you for that tip.
I was going to say,
it helped me out. They tell us all the time. So we're going to continue to do that. It's not to grow my business. It's to.
Well, like think about something for like we just went into that question with the forms and not knowing if your offer's submitted or not. I mean, we're talking about the situation that happened where we felt like the offer was not submitted. Like, is that bad-mouthing an agent?
No.
Like, that's just.
I don't see that.
I mean, I thought the whole point was to try and be more transparent.
How many times have we spoken to people that say, I sent an offer. I don't even know if the other agent showed the other.
Yeah.
Well, we just gave you a solution. We just gave you a solution to that. And if you're working with an agent that doesn't know that, well, you educate your agent then. Say, hey, there's a form. I want it signed knowing the seller actually saw my offer.
And we have many, many, many agents that watch these videos that we speak to on a daily basis. And anyone, the stuff we talk about in the videos, it really is the exception. These are not widespread issues. Like, they do happen.
Some are.
Okay, some. But I think for
most
the most
of them
part,
are the exception.
For the most part, it is the exception, right? There is these issues don't happen for every single deal. Like, there's a ton of great agents. Most agents that we deal with are very
awesome.
respectable,
professional.
Very professional. They do things according to how they should be done. They have their best interest of their clients at the forefront. Like, these are the exceptions, but I think it's very important for people to know that, this stuff does happen. And, if it does happen, there are ways. You can't always protect yourself, but there are ways you can try and mitigate some of those damages if they do occur, right?
Yeah.
And
many times when somebody calls me to complain, their past experience with their realtor, as they start telling me the process, I'm like, but when that happened, like, wasn't that a clue that you were going to be heading into an issue? I never thought about it then. Well, think about it.
Yeah.
The clues are there often that you're using the wrong realtor.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so next comment here comes from Ken Kortner. And Ken says, I would be pushing, this is with response to our video where we were talking about the couples that bought as like a
co-ownership.
Co-ownership, yes.
Yeah, and cohabitation.
Yeah, and living together.
I remember. So, that was recently.
Yeah, that was this past Tuesday. But Ken says, I would be pushing the deadbeat half to vacate back to parents and replace with a tenant. Risky, but might minimize / delay the loss. No? Man, people are so mean in the comments. I wonder if people talk like this in real life.
I'm not responding right away because I'm just trying to not come across as rude or aggressive right now.
People need to be nicer, man. This is like some of the comments we get.
He called him a deadbeat. Like, look, if you are in a financial position where you're totally secure and don't have any financial strain whatsoever, good for you. Congratulations. That's an awesome position to be in. That's what everybody shoots for. That's their plan. Mm-hmm. They don't want to have any financial stress. But just because somebody does have a financial problem, whether it's they lose their job or whether it's self-inflicted, they just took on way too much more debt, they overshot, they could be just really bad at financial planning. Yeah. They've definitely made some financial mistakes along the way, but it doesn't make them deadbeats. That's, when you talk about deadbeats, you're talking about someone's character. A financial problem, that's a math problem. Yeah. It's not, it doesn't define you as a person. So let's refrain collectively, please refrain from just, because we tell lots of stories about people that got themselves into financial issues. They're not deadbeats. They're just people that got themselves into financial issues. That's it. That's, that's where the line stops. So, but the second part of that comment is, why doesn't the one who can no longer afford their half of the deal, why doesn't that one leave? And the other person, the other partner that is paying the mortgage, their share, put a tenant in their place to help at least cover part of the mortgage. Well, it's going to be cash flow negative, and they have looked at all sorts of different possibilities. Even the main one taken over, they've looked at putting a tenant in it. They've looked at all these scenarios, and I don't get into, when I tell the story, every little tiny conversation and angle just to try to make the story smaller or shorter, which
you still don't do.
I still don't do. I'm going on now, but they've looked at everything, and this is the situation they're in, and the only thing that is really viable right now, which is a terrible situation to be in, is to actually sell the property.
Yeah.
And that solution is no good for either, but it is it's the more favorable of all the evils.
Yeah. But it's fluid too. I mean, they don't have a job right now, but they were trying everything they could to get one.
Yeah, right? It's so not like if it happened, changes, in 1 week they made all these decisions. Like he's been trying to get a job. It's been a while now.
Yeah.
He's running out a runway, that's all. Yeah. And you see how I did that? Because we got the runway right behind us here.
With the beautiful
running. You see how I kind of put that into the conversation?
Yeah, I know. But okay, so next comment, and this is the last comment for the day, and this was by far my favorite thread of comments that I've seen in a very long time.
Your favorite
thread.
Okay, let's hear this.
So, OK Department says, Santo looks like he's been lifting lately.
He's noticed?
Yes. So, OK Department, we have been going to the gym. We have been lifting lately. And
we've been trying to get more fit.
Yeah, we've been trying.
Making a real good effort at it. So he noticed that?
OK Department. They noticed, yes, Santo looks like he's been lifting lately.
Thank you. You too.
Divine says, underneath, a burger.
So both those comments are accurate.
OK Department has seen us at the gym, And divide his seat is after the gym.
After the gym. Well, we got to reward ourselves. We did such a good job at the gym. We got to treat ourselves.
Oh, man.
Both those comments, unfortunately, well, they're both accurate. And with the cold weather, a little bit of gravy on the fries is always a good idea also.
We're trying.
You know.
But you know what's funny? Funny about the gym is we actually keep running into people that watch these videos at the gym. And so that's always fun too.
It is a lot of fun. You're working out and somebody will come up to you. Hey, are you Santo? Or I'm walking down the hall and I hear from behind me somebody walk past and will say something like, hey, keep up those videos on YouTube. And I'm like, whoa, who said that? It's actually, if you see us, you recognize us, please say hello. We think it's really, really awesome that you even give time to watching us here on YouTube.
Oh, we appreciate the support so much. And we're glad to do this stuff. So just keep your comments coming and you will get more of these Sunday videos, hopefully with more beautiful views like this.
Yes.
And
you guys check out the link for this place.
Link for this it should be right above me here. But that ends it for today. So we'll see you guys on Tuesday for the market reports.
Have an awesome day, folks.
Have a good one.